Morning, fellow parents. Brian King here. Welcome back to the group. And for all of you first-timers who just joined us, awesome to have you. So thrilled that you're here. What I want to share for you in this video here is the framework that I've learned that have really been the core, not only to my personal parenting, but to the people that I've coached over the years. This isn't a pitch, just giving you some context here before I share a great deal with you. Because it really helps to have a framework. You don't want to parent by the seat of your pants. Yes, there is some learning as you go. That's a big part of it. We don't go into it knowing everything. And heck, we're probably not going to take our last breath having known everything we could have. It's really just a journey. You know this. But having some point of reference is really key. So you at least know what you stand for. Now, what are you trying to facilitate and create for your kids' experiences? What kind of framework are you going to give them to engage the world? And at this point, because things evolve, what I have are what I call the 6 core competencies, or the 6 areas of character development that I really want my kids to be solid in and emphasize as they navigate the world. And quickly, those 6 areas are responsibility, resourcefulness, resilience, reflection, and results. Wait a minute, that's only 5. Let me throw another one in there. Relationships. That one's key. I'll put that in there when I'm done talking. And when you think about it, the order of these things, there's a natural flow. I have an entire video that I recorded for my clients that explains how they interrelate and how they build upon one another. But for the purposes of today, I want to talk about results. Because I have 2 kids, I have 3 kids actually that have Asperger's and ADHD. Pardon my kitty. Let's make some adjustments here so that it's just you and I. My kids have Asperger's and ADHD, and they're at the point now where I no longer need to get up in the morning to get them ready and out the door to go to school. And I've worked with people over the years that have to fight to even get their kid up. Their kid doesn't want to comb their hair. They don't want to brush their teeth. They don't want to do anything. It's pulling teeth for almost their entire lives. And I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be that way. Okay? The reason it is that way is because you don't know what to do, period. You don't know how to change that. Well, let me give you one tip. What I did early on with my kids is you can conceive of the natural consequences that are going to happen if your child doesn't do certain things, okay? They don't brush their teeth, they're going to get cavities. There are natural consequences for that called dentist drills. If your child misses the bus, then you are either going to drive them or not going to drive them. But let me tell you what I set up for my kids. If they were going to miss their bus, in their mind, I was going to rescue. I was simply going to step in and I was going to take them to school. That was not my solution. I would explain to them what the results were going to be and how those results were going to feel. And again, these weren't things that I would have to necessarily put into place. These were just things that, in my opinion, was going to happen. For instance, if you miss the bus, I'm not driving you to school. Instead, you're going to have to call the school and explain to them how your lack of responsibility resulted in you missing the bus and therefore missing the day. Are those results that you would like to create? By asking the question that way, I'm putting responsibility solely on them and reminding them that this is something they're creating. It isn't something that's just happening. Because kids with ADHD and Asperger's can fall into the trap of believing that life happens to them and that they are not responsible. See, top of the list there. They're not responsible for the results they create. Results simply happen. It's somebody else's fault. They didn't do anything, blah, 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 blah. So I emphasize to them that I am not going to support them in the idea that it's somebody else's fault, that someone else is to blame, that it was circumstances beyond their control. I'm going to emphasize that these are results you're creating by the choices you're making, and I'm not going to rescue you. So, well, another thing is you have to mean it. That's important too, because if you're just saying that, hoping it's going to work, and at the end of it all, you're going to say, oh, fine, I'll take you. You've lost all credibility. So you've got to be prepared to stick by your guns. So over the years, what I have emphasized to my boys is that if certain things don't go the way they wanted, they get upset about mistakes they made, I would simply say, now how did we get those results? This can be asked in a way that you leverage reflection. It's another one of those R's. You want to encourage them to reflect upon why are they thinking the way they are? What's driving them? Are they thinking with their head? Are they thinking with their anxiety? And that can work in favor of either side of the coin. Learning something that makes them proud of themselves, or learning something that makes them want to do better for themselves. So in the case of the morning routine, I encouraged them to reflect upon the choices they were making and what kind of results it was going to create. And if they wanted to experience what those results meant for them, it meant calling the school and having to admit that they didn't listen to mom or dad, that they prioritized the TV over getting ready, and that's why they missed their bus, and that they essentially had no excuse for missing school that day, and we're going to have to absorb all the repercussions of it. My boys didn't like the idea of those results. So by simply putting it to them like that, they got themselves in gear. Now, sometimes you may have a child that will dig in and say, I don't care, I hate school, it's really stupid. And then they feel the consequences of that. They inconvenience you because you're having to stay home, and you can say, so one result is leading to other results. Maybe you have to call off the day. Maybe you can't get certain things done. And now other results are your child has to pay you back for the time you've lost. They don't get a free and clear day simply because they dug in and didn't go to school. So you see, there are these natural results. I don't call them consequences. I don't call them punishment, because then it becomes about you against them. You reinforce the power struggle. But if you can frame it in such a way where that results are just the natural consequence of their decisions, it's just the universe unfolding. It's not you doing it. It's not somebody else punishing them. These are the things that happen naturally, whether you were there or not. You follow my thinking here? Because they need to learn that wherever they go in life, whether it's you, their boss, a friend, a teacher, doesn't matter, that results will unfold from whatever choices they make. There's not going to be a vacuum. So I know this is kind of general, but it's to kind of get you thinking about this and to help you appreciate the importance of a framework. Use my framework if it resonates with you. If not, think about one that you may already be using. You just haven't made it anything concrete. Or maybe you've read a book from somebody else that has this paradigm that you want to follow and you've had good results with. The important thing is to be conscious, be consistent, and most importantly, teach it, implement. Okay? Just my thoughts. Please leave some comments. Let me know what you think about this, and share some other things you've learned as well. If there's somebody else, whether it's in the group or out, that you think can benefit from this, please share. Until next time, this has been Brian. Thanks for being you.